How were the guys today after the days off?
Good. We still got some guys doing rehab and doing things, but we're healthier than we were. We just got to keep moving forward.
Does this not feel like a traditional bye week, considering there's a Thursday game next week?
It's Thanksgiving, everything thrown in. I haven't really had a chance to think about it. Since the starting Sunday, we started on Texas, and Thanksgiving's optional, and everything's you don't get very many chances in windows to be able to win championships, do the things you want to do. So right now, at least my part, I want to make sure that it's not because of me. So.
Probably we come at a good time.
Yeah, I did. We went 8 straight weeks. Still got a couple guys didn't practice, but we're closer today than we were. We'll go today and tomorrow, and then we'll be off Friday, and then we'll go this weekend. So,
Coach, do you watch the show with the rankings on Tuesday or?
No, I haven't watched it once. Haven't paid, and I just do what people tell me. It doesn't do any good to talk. It's kind of like last week. I knew if Alabama beat Mississippi State, that no matter how we played, there's a great chance it could be change. And so I just got to worry about, I think every week's going to be like a month. And so for me, I'm just going to worry about Texas and then Iowa State, and we can be 11-1. That's all I can do, and then we'll worry about all the rest of that stuff later on.
Do you tell the players not to watch the show? And
You're not going to control them. Not when it comes to that kind of stuff. I'm just going to tell them how they cannot get there. Positives are just sometimes compliments are just as bad as critiques. You just got to keep real and keep within the lines and follow the journey. And that's what we've been trying to do is finish the journey. That's what I'm trying to do is lead them to that point. That's why I've always been below the water all season. I knew how tough this season was going to be, how it lined up, and so it doesn't do me any good to get high or low. I know if I win 2, I'm going to be in a good bowl game somewhere, whether it's in the playoffs or somewhere else. And these kids deserve that, so I'm trying to help give them that.
So if I'm getting this right, after the Iowa State game, you'll start paying attention to Kerry.
Well, I have more time. I think that next Monday we're up there. LT gets inducted in the Hall of Fame. And so, there'll be other head coaching duties. I'll go, and I'm sure there'll be a couple people talking about it.
From your perspective, what's the state of the Big 12 like right now?
I think good. You got 2 teams that have 1 loss. Really, you got Kansas State with 3 in the conference that have played awfully good football, and everybody's got to finish out. I think you could look at all 3 of them and understand that there's a lot of good football that's been played.
Texas has been much improved the last few weeks. What have they done differently that you've seen?
Well, number one is they've been playing good defense all year. Offensively, they've just really been coming on, playing with a lot more confidence. Being able to run the football, but more importantly, I think they've been able to throw the ball a little bit better, doing some things, and the quarterbacks really come along. There'll be a handful. They got good players. They got good skilled players all the way around, from wide receivers to running backs and the quarterbacks. They're doing things with him that he's good at.
Do you think this is the top skilled position team that you'll face all year?
Oh no. Everybody's got one. Shepard, Lockett, everybody's got one. Everybody's got a guy like that. Everybody's got a running back.
You excited to see what Trayvon can do against that Texas front 7?
Well, one good thing about it, they don't cover a lot of vertical routes. So, obviously, Malcolm Brown, they've got some players up front, Hicks, guys that can play, and so it's no different than playing anybody else. They're a good football team. You got to go take games. They play better at home than they have on the road, and so for us, we understand when you're going to win on the road, you got to go take a ball game. I don't think it'd be any different than trying to go into an environment like Baylor. So we got to get ready to play.
Not to bring up last year, but that was the only team that really beat y'all pretty convincingly.
You mean the 4-hour rain delay?
Yeah. How much did that impact that game?
I don't know. They won. It's key to it is they found a way to get it done, and we didn't. So it's New Year.
Speaking of New Year, did you see the schedule for next year at all? I know you're not.
Just kind of glanced at it.
A couple of midweek games, 2 Thursdays and a Friday. What do you take on that?
I didn't see the Thursdays. I just saw the Friday. Those are hard on kids' academics, to be honest with you. Nobody should have to do 3 of them.
It sounds like TV wants to see you, though.
And you got to win championships. If you don't have a good plan for a team, you don't win championships. It's not about TV. It's about winning championships. So you have to have a good plan. We had a good plan this year, and we sit where we sit. If you don't have a good plan, playing a Baylor team after going to Oklahoma, I don't think it's a good plan. I don't mind playing them back to back, but giving us a short week, injuries and everything else is not a good plan. If you want to have a great conference, then you have to have a good plan.
People love watching a winner, right?
Well, yeah. And if you don't have players, key to it is they don't have time to get back and get ready to play, then it's hard to do that. So, you got to have a good plan.
One guy that was kind of on the hot seat a couple weeks ago was Ranthony, and he seems to be playing better the last couple against
Is
Kansas
he off
State
of it?
and Kansas. I don't know. I mean,
None of the corners, except Kevin right now. We just got to get, they're young, and they just, every day is a mystery.
But have you been impressed with the way he's played the last couple of weeks, not giving up really
Okay.
big plays?
Okay.
Are you happy with your defense as a whole?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we're 9-1. I mean, you can run the ball more, you could play less plays, you could do things, but the key to it is the formula is to score points, do the things we need to do. I mean, I think we're the lowest red zone defense in the league as far as touchdowns. We've only allowed 8. One of the top third down defenses, one of the top 3 and out defenses, one of the top run defenses. I think we're in the top 4 rushing and scoring defenses. So that's who you have to, once you get to this time of year, that's who you have to compare yourself to. We'd like to be a top 10 defense, but that doesn't always happen every year. For us, I think what it was, besides the one long play, I think we gave up like 40-some yards in 25 plays besides the rest of it. This group here has given up 3 or 4 large plays, 100, 150 yards, which has dropped them about 40 slots or where you'd like to be. If you would just like to talk about total yardage. But scoring defense, rushing defense, red zone defense, third down defense, get off field defense and takeaways are all really important as far as what you're trying to get accomplished, especially with an offense that scores points.
Does it chap the players to be in the 40s in total defense?
I haven't even talked to them about them. All we're trying to do is try to win a conference championship. I mean, it's like anything else. I'm sure they look at it, but to be honest with you, it's just the win-loss record.
Before the season, did the conference make it clear that they would crown 2 champions if there was a co-champion?
Well, yeah, it's always been Oklahoma, and they tied last year. I mean, it's not the first time there's been a tie. So I mean, all you had to do is go in the Big 12 conference manual and look up the rules. So, I mean, it's not like it's a new thing. And to be honest with you, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you do that? I mean, if you have 3, I think it's a different tiebreaker. But having 2, and you still have to look at Kansas State. They can win out, and then you have a 3-way tie. So it's not over yet.
I guess I bring that up just because it might be tricky when you. I don't know. It's not what you're paying attention to, but what the committee is trying to figure out as far as ranking all these teams.
Oh, that's their job. They got good people on it. There's not going to be any. That's what I said. We went to this deal where we have a committee. Well, it's not any different. And whether now you have 4. Okay. In fact, I think it's probably been more difficult to pick the 4 than it would have been to just pick the 2, as far as this time around. So for me, I just want to make it tough on them. I want to win the next 2 and be 11-1, and then they've got to decide. That's all I can control. Again, we just need to finish the journey.
Do you like playing on Thanksgiving?
We played Thursday, Friday, and Saturday around it the whole time I've ever been here, and so, I feel for the kids, and sometimes I think people don't understand. Not only will they probably miss Thanksgiving with their, but they'll have a Friday and Saturday off to go home. In some ways, that's better than play on a Saturday and have to be up here the whole time and practice on Thanksgiving morning and then go somewhere. So, in some ways, it's better this time of year. But, then they miss, a lot of times you're going to bowl games, you're in a hotel room at Christmas, you're in a hotel room at New Year's. Kids make a lot of sacrifices, not just them, band, cheerleader, I mean, you name it, managers, equipment people, everybody makes, you guys, everybody has things they got to do. Not necessarily, you'd probably find a better time to do it.
Is it a long-term arrangement in even-numbered years to play Thanksgiving in Austin?
As far as I know. I don't really know what exactly the rule is or what the contract is.
Looking at that 2015 schedule that came out, the final game is at home against Baylor. You had the finale last year against Baylor. Could you see them getting with you in a home and home at the end of each season like that?
Well, that's going to be, Oklahoma and Oklahoma State play a rivalry game. Mm-hmm. Texas and Texas A&M used to. If Baylor and us are going to be a rivalry, then it would be better to put them at the end of the season, to where when you get done, you don't have to emotionally get ready. Because when I was in the Mountain West Conference, same thing happened with BYU and Utah. They always played at the end of the year. Well, nobody ever got a chance to play them after they played each other. Mm-hmm. And so to me, I mean, that's the good part about all of it.
Would that seem natural to you, being that it's the two private schools in the league?
Well, yeah, I mean, we're the closest. I think it's just watching everything. I think it's the one that's become the most talked about. So, but you got to play all 9. So it's however we do it. But that was my request. If we're going to make it such an emotional game, I'd rather not play Baylor and then have to come back and play somebody else. If that's the way this game is going to be all the time, then we should play it, and it'll be a lot of fun. That's what it's supposed to be all about.
How close will you be to 100% health for Texas?
I don't know. I'll tell them next Thursday. I'll tell you. It's a long way. I mean, it's Wednesday. We're over a week. So.
But 10 days makes a big difference, more than most weeks?
Oh, yeah. Especially this time of year. I mean, after tomorrow, we'll be in shorts. And we'll have 2 good days, and then this weekend we'll kind of be in shells, but we'll be Saturday and Sunday. By Sunday, we'll be in shorts. I mean, so you're resting in their short practices, and you're getting done what you need to get done. Having an extra 10 days is a big deal.
Thanksgiving Day could be an advantage some years.
Well, we can move it to the 15th of December, right after they pick everything and go play it. I don't care. I mean, it's like, but it's, I think the thing about it is that every other year it happens. The fun part about all this is that we're playing for something. I think a year ago, all of you weren't here, and nobody cared that we were finishing up our final game against whoever we were playing. So, to get back to where, people care what's happening, we're in the race to win a conference title and do all the things we need to do, and we'll see how it goes.